All right, all right, all right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. We got special guest Michael Murray coming to you from his cave. Wait, does your cave have a name? You need a cave name for that room you're in.
Back in the nerd cave as we
Nerd.
have.
There you go. You're in the nerd cave. And Michael, it's been a little bit of time since we had you on. It's been a crazy summer for me, and you've got a lot going on. I've got a lot going on, and I'm so glad we can finally connect. We text a lot, talk about music a lot, and we've got throwing ideas back and forth. But finally, uh, something new from us.
Something new. Yes, this is, always back. Good to be back in the cave talking about a new band. Something that, well, obviously they're going to read the comments,
Yeah,
but one of the early heartthrobs of MTV, Kim Wilde.
yeah. You came at me with that one, and I was like, I don't know if I've done that one, and that's near and dear to my heart. So I was like, let's do it.
Yep.
And So then we were off and running and saying to ourselves, this will not be a 20 to 30 minute
No,
a la Paul Chabot episode. So for those people who think it's too much talking, we hopefully won't have that this time. It'll probably be the perfect amount, I think, right?
well, we'll see how it goes, but
We'll see.
I'll set a timer. We'll try and
Right.
make it 5 minutes. How's that?
That's right. All right. So Kim Wilde, you want to start?
Sure. Kim Wilde. Came out of England in 1981, one of the early stars of MTV in their first year. I think most people know the song "Kids in America." Ironic, given that she's British, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think she really helped define not only the sound of early MTV with that combination rock, new wave, the little bit of punk energy into it, but she also had the style that really defined those early years, with the striped shirt and the blazer and the kind of a spiky, punky blonde hair. And it was a huge hit for her, number two in the UK. Trying to remember where it hit in the US.
I think it was
Top,
top 40.
yeah, I thought it was like 25, but I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah, she really set the stage for that early sound in 1981 on MTV.
Yeah, so her father was a pop, like a 60s pop star, and her father and brother wrote the majority of her songs from her career through the mid to late 1980s. They wrote
Yeah,
pretty much everything, which is amazing, right?
yep,
I would like to throw in, we have the same birthday, November 18th, although she's 8 years older than me, but we do have the same birthday. And so her father was like a 60s like pop star that was emulating American music, but their influences by the time they were writing for her were things like Gary Newman, OMD, and Kraftwerk. I mean,
yep,
if I had more time, I'd be digging into that. Like, how did her dad and her brother go? Like, how did they get to there? Especially her dad. So that's pretty interesting. And the single "Kids in America" dropped in January of '81 in the UK, but didn't hit America till spring of '82. And I got MTV around 82, but when I bought that single for Kids in America, I mean, it was just like the perfect song for me as I was starting to listen to new wave and synth pop. I mean, the
mm,
only thing before that was, I mean, Gary Newman's Cars was 79 or so, I think. He was really early on.
right,
But this one was like to your point, like that introduction with the keyboards and her voice and the lyrics and yes, I guess her brother had they had no lyrics. They had the music, but they didn't have lyrics. And he had just been to some documentary about teenagers in America or something. Or anyway, they threw it together.
yeah.
But what a great song that just like was huge. Yeah, it was a big
That was
song.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was heavy play on MTV. That was back before the local rock stations were really experimenting into that style of music. So the only time, at least for me, the only time I heard it was if I was watching MTV. Um, because it was not on, PLR or HCN or any of those guys at that point in time.
No, you would have had to listen to Casey Kasem top 40 to hear that, right? I mean, Where else? Who else? I mean, there was, I guess, pop, maybe pop, I don't know, pop radio playing it, but it was only because it was charted, I guess, but not that. But that was new, the very beginning of that synth new wave stuff too. So like, yeah, you weren't going to hear it very much on the radio for sure. Yeah, you had
Uh,
to see it. You had to either buy and hear know about it and buy the 45 or the album, or you were watching
right.
MTV. Yeah. And then she comes up and she puts out other records, but she goes to number one in the U.S. in '87 with Supreme's "You Keep Me Hanging On,"
Right.
which was a huge hit. That was definitely, of course, pop.
Yeah,
But
that was at the top of the mark for her. I think, as you mentioned, she has put out a pretty extensive amount of albums. Um, an inside joke, but she's very big in Belgium. She
yes,
has very selective appeal. The Scandinavians love her. Um,
yeah, 15 albums.
yeah, 15 albums charted mostly um, Scandinavia, some Germany, and Canada for some reason. She did really well. But beyond the first couple, and then You Keep Me Hanging On, not a huge success in the US, but happens to a lot of bands.
It's true, and she's the most charted British female solo act of the 1980s.
Correct.
17 top 40 singles.
Yep.
17.
17. That's impressive.
I don't I was like, wait, what? I was like, wow, that is, I mean, if you talk about the dichotomy between across the pond of like just music that sometimes just
That,
doesn't ever cross. 17 singles in the top 40 from Kim Wilde.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
in the United
that's
States, it's probably like four or something. I didn't look it
right.
up, but it's not a lot.
I mean, she's in the jam territory. I mean, she's got massive British success and unfortunately very little on the US. But
Yeah, with all
uh,
the and with all that success, she put out an album in 1988 called Close, and that one was bigger than any record that she had up until that point. And I
right.
had to look it up because I didn't know the songs. Hey, Mr. Heartache and Four Letter Word spent 8 months on the charts in the UK.
And honestly, I would be shocked if I heard any one of those songs.
Right. So I had to go back and play them. I mean, there's some good stuff on there. Those songs were good. Some of her other songs, Checkered Love, but Cambodia keeps coming up, and we both and I kind of had a tepid reaction to Cambodia, but it was one of her
Cambodia
hits
was
over there.
an odd choice for her, I think. But I mean, I think we talked a little bit before. One of my favorites was Water on Glass, which
Yeah.
was probably well, I know there was a video on MTV, but it never made it quite as well. But I thought it was a pretty solid song.
Yeah. So I mean,
Um,
she toured and she toured with big. She toured with David Bowie. She toured with Michael Jackson. I mean, she did massive tours, and she
yep.
put out album. Again, 15 albums. And then, so even when she's still doing music, she has another hobby, right? What's her other hobby?
Well, she had kids, and she decided that she wanted to have a place where they could play. So she went to college to become a horticulturist, and is actually a award-winning gardener. She's won a couple awards over in Europe. She's wrote a couple books on gardening.
Yep,
She's
2 books on gardening.
yep. What was I going to
She had a
say?
gardening show that was on for like 2 years.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. She had actually two different gardening shows, one on BBC Four and one on the other channel over there. So yeah, she's almost as well known for gardening as she is for music.
Right. Go figure.
Kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
And before we wrap it up, we do have to mention the the comeback she made with Nana of 99 Luftballons
Yep.
fame. They did a duet that actually charted. Oh God, that was early 2020, I want to
I think
say.
so. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I did see the video for that. It was kind of fun to see the two of them, after all those years out there doing their thing.
Yeah, we'll have to post that underneath. Yeah, I mean, she put out a box set in 2021.
Yep.
Like not that long ago, she put out a box set. And then I read an interview with her in the last 5 years or so. I'm not sure when it was from, but she basically like hangs low and has two Airedale Terriers and She
Mhm.
still, but she said she still loves it when her songs come on. If she hears Kids in America to this day on the radio, she just is happy as can be when she hears it, which is pretty cool. So,
Well, it's funny. I saw a video of her and her brother and somebody else, and it was like somebody actually just recorded it on their cell phone, and they were on the subway or the tube, and I guess the song came on the radio, so they're all like bouncing around singing the song, and people are like, "Wait a minute!" They're all doing double takes, like, "Hey, that's you!"
right.
It's kind of fun. I mean,
That's
at
cool.
least she's not one of those people who had a huge hit and then all of a sudden decided, no, I'm not playing that anymore. After 15 albums, I'm not going to sing my biggest hit. So it's kind of
Right.
fun. She still has fun with it.
That's great. Yeah. Cool. So, I mean, we might have the same song. Well, we don't have the same song, but for me, it has to be Kids in America. And I don't always do the obvious choice, but I just every time I hear it, I don't change the station,
Yeah.
and I listened to it just, an hour ago, and it just brought me back, and I just remember playing it over and over again, and I love the beginning. I love the clapping machine. I love the keyboard. I love her voice. I love the lyrics. I mean, it's perfect. 1981, 82 song, like just perfect. Like
Oh, it
did a
is
nice job. So
without a doubt. I mean, no disrespect to anything she did after that. For me, she will always be defined by that song, even though, like I mentioned, I love Water on Glass. But yeah, if that song comes on, no matter where I am, it automatically gets turned up, and never change the station on that.
absolutely. Yep.
We should definitely go with that for the song of the day.
All right. That is your song of the day, people. It's Kim Wilde, Kids in America with Michael Murray. From the Nerd Cave to the Rock Cave, we're throwing some beats at you. And we're going to have a part two. And it's funny, we're going to have a part two, but I don't know if this is part two actually, because we're going to figure out what the order of things are. But this is either part one or part two, totally different
They're going to have to
topics.
stay tuned and
Yeah,
find out.
that's right. Exactly. So, Kim Wilde, Kids in America, that's your song of the day. Whatever you're doing today, I hope it involves music. And as usual, you ready?
Ready?
We'll catch you on the
Catch you on
flip
the flip
side.
side.